I should probably mute this. We're going live. We're going live, baby. What is happening Yeah, this is why I don't live stream. What is happening, everyone? Welcome to a Friday edition of KMRD Radio Stuff live, which never happens. And let's mute that. So I have with me a buddy. I guess I should say hi, Andy and Lionel and Roger and Lionel and Roger again for being here. Thanks for being on time. I have a very special guest, a good friend of mine, Bob from RFinder. If you've ever heard of RFinder, they make these great DMR cell phone radio type things. They're fantastic. So he has just discovered Parks on the Air, and he and I have been talking the last few weeks about all things POTA, and he lives in Mexico, and he's gonna share us his POTA experience for doing POTA in Mexico. So without any further ado, here is Bob Whiskey to Charlie Yankee Kilo. Welcome, Bob. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, everybody.
With the YouTube page.
Hola, mis amigos.
Hola, me llamo Miguel.
Me llamo Don Profundo.
Lost me already. So, Bob, tell the kids where you're at. You're somewhere in Mexico. That's kind of a big country. You want to narrow it down a little bit more?
Yeah, actually, I'm on the island of X-Ray Foxtrot 3, the island of Cozumel, Mexico.
Yeah. Now, that's got to be real rough living down there in paradise. Are you managing okay? Or are you?
It's horrible. I'll tell you what. I was running RFinder from a 3x4 meter office in the southwest corner of my house in New York.
Yeah.
And I just had it like a year and a half ago. Not being able to travel like I usually do, and Cozumel was wide open, and I was like, "What am I doing here?"
Yeah.
I just left. I gave my son the house.
Were you right in New York City?
No, I live about an hour and a half east of New York City on Long Island, out by the Hamptons.
So, if you could please silence your alerts.
I'm doing that. I mean,
I love them, but it's for the kids.
I can't promise that the Mac won't alert. I'm not sure how to shut that off, but
you can't. You just have to close all programs.
Yeah, So I gave him everything. I said, everything is yours. I'm leaving. And I went, I said, you just have to always have a room for me in the house.
Yeah.
And that was that. So, and he agreed to that. And then he said to me, oh, wait, does that mean I have a vacation home in Cozumel, Mexico? I was like,
you would think.
Por supuesto, mijo. Absolutamente.
I mean, if you bring a radio to go POTA, then technically we would all have a place in Cozumel to stay now.
Well, actually, I have an open invite for any hams that want to come and visit and go diving and go play with radio and whatever.
Yeah, so you've got a lot of things going for you. We've talked about this before, but when I was 12 years old, because 12 is the youngest you can be to get certified as a scuba diver.
Now it's 10. It was 12.
Is it 10 now? Well, when I was 12, it was 12.
I think about 12.
And I was
changed to 10.
Okay, so I'm from South Florida. For those of you who don't know, I lived in a little city called Lighthouse Point, which is surrounded by Pompano. So Pompano is kind of my stomping grounds. And we lived on the water, and water, the ocean is like the most dear thing in the world to me. And I'm a water baby. I'm always swimming, fishing, whatever. So I got to scuba dive like in the Keys and in the Bahamas. And it's beautiful, but I can only imagine diving. I mean, that's literally a thing. Dive Cozumel.
Oh, yeah.
So you not only have that.
I've been diving for most of my life, and I became an instructor in 1996. And I owned a dive boat. I actually ran a dive charter on Long Island called Bottom Time out of Shinnecock Inlet, if anybody knows where that is. And we did a lot of shipwreck diving. Everything was dry suit diving because the water's cold. But here, like in the summertime, the water's 84 here. In the winter, the water's like 81. It's like
That
ridiculous.
sucks.
Yeah, it was actually, like I said, I'm an instructor. So, one of my favorite courses that I love to teach is co-ed naked diving. So,
Nice. It's a show about ham radio.
yeah, that's how it is. But I am a third generation ham, for those of you who don't know. My son is the fourth generation. My son is W2EEO. So my dad's still with us, K2ACM. This is my grandfather's call.
Oh, nice.
And his call is a great grandmother's call.
I was wondering how you got Bob out of CYK there, but that explains it.
Cucamonga, Yokohama, Kalamazoo.
I know Kalamazoo.
Cucamonga's in California. Yokohama's in
Mm,
Japan.
yes. So Bob calls me, it's probably 3 weeks ago, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe a month. It wasn't even a month. It was,
2 or 3 weeks.
It was like 2.5 weeks ago, probably. And he's like,
Yo.
Oh my God, I just discovered POTA. What is this? Give me input. And he's like,
I hadn't actually, just because I did do POTA with Jason in Ham Radio 2.0.
Yeah.
He and I did, when he was doing, I guess, driving up the East Coast, he came to visit me in Long Island. Lots and lots of parks in Long Island. So we operated from some beaches, like literally drove onto the beach and operated from there. And we had so much fun. And I've been thinking about it since, how much fun it was, because it was literally like having a mini field day.
Mm-hmm.
And, the same kind of, thanks, Ed, same kind of pileups that you have in field day, So I was like, all right, this is fun. This is good. So, I met a few weeks ago, X-Ray Fox 3 Pop Alpha Sierra. This was actually his QSL card that I was showing a minute ago.
Okay, yeah.
So I found out that there was one other ham on this island. And I actually found out when I was scuba diving. I was driving into the, into the marina. And there was a car sitting there with a Tar Heel screwdriver on it. I was
nice.
Like, there's another ham here. And then I was hanging out with another friend of mine, a Mexican, and he and I are like, into like smoking meat. You know how much I smoke meat. And I don't know.
For those that don't know, Bob smokes the brisket at our field days. So
yeah, man. Yeah. So the New Yorkers smoking the Texas.
Yeah. We got to bring in a guy from New York.
So anyways, he and I were talking meat one night, and I said to him, he goes, "Well, what else do you have?" I was like, I'm in the radio and blah blah blah, And he's like, "Oh, there's a radio guy here on the island." It's like, "Who?" And he gets on the phone and calls. So that was kind of cool.
So everybody knows everybody on the. How many people are on the island? How many people live there?
It's like 85,000.
Okay.
It's not
a pretty good population.
Yeah, it's 22 miles long, about whatever 9 kilometers wide is, whatever that is. But so there's people here on the island. There's actually quite a few, and we'll sure clean you out. What was it? Yeah. What did you say?
Frank's Beans will sure clean you out.
Oh, I'm telling you. By the way, for those of you that don't know, Frank Tank, that guy makes some beans that'll knock a buzzard off a manure wagon in 50 places. I'm telling you. Yeah, really spicy. Very nice. Muy picante, we say down here. Very, very spicy.
Here's getting back on subject. We were just talking about something similar, N3AML's right. I wish Mexico would get it together when it comes to reciprocity. So what are you doing down there, Bob?
Well, I'm actually working on that right now with IFT is their version of the FCC, and FMRE, Federación Mexicano Radio Experimentadores, which is an interesting name, but I'll get to that later. Mm-hmm. But their version of ARRL, and I'm working with the president, and we're supposed to have a meeting with the IFT that he's going to invite me to as their obvious reasoning for providing. I mean, I'm a pretty prominent ham worldwide, and why the hell can't he have a reciprocal license?
Yeah.
So I operated with XF3 PAS, next to me at the helm. So that was fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we're working on something here. My girlfriend's actually a genius. She's from Chiapas, Mexico, and she's studying for her ham ticket right now. So we should have a call sign in the house very shortly.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll throw an antenna on the roof once we have a license in the house, and we'll operate,
Nice.
all for her. But
now, how does it work down there with licenses? Would she be like the equivalent of a technician, or they do it more like some of the European countries where they can have like all of the bands, but you're limited by power?
No, they have one level here.
Oh,
right.
There you go.
So
that makes it easy.
Yeah. So she's working on it, and she's actually into science, and she's like a real nerd. It's really quite funny. It's quite funny that this little very pretty Mexican girl is like a nerd, like a complete very, very intelligent. She like reads a 400-page book in a week like it's nothing. She's like one of those. So she's into science and into astronomy and astronomy, not astrology.
Yeah.
And physics, theoretical. You can have a discussion with her about theoretical physics, about quantum mechanics. I mean, she's very, very.
Wow, that'd be a short discussion if I was talking to her, but
yeah, well, whatever. She knows more than me.
That's awesome.
She actually knows more than me about things. She's teaching me things.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool in Spanish, which is interesting. Like having an intellectual conversation in Spanish for an American English speaker.
Yeah.
But I speak Spanish, but just like a 15-year-old. So
yeah.
So,
no,
but it's
better than me.
Yeah, well, it's functional. It works.
Now, you knew Spanish before moving down there, or did you just pick it up?
No, I've been studying Spanish in 7th grade.
Oh, okay.
I started. I took it seriously. Like I went through Spanish 5 in high school. Spanish 4 and 5 were independent studies. So we were actually like reading novels and writing book reports and crap.
Oh, wow.
11th and 12th grade. So, and then I took 2 semesters of conversational in university, and I took, and then I was lucky enough, as a world traveler for work, to use my Spanish whenever I was in like San Juan or Madrid or San Jose or
nice.
wherever I was. So or Jeepers, Buenos Aires. So I had a chance, like when I worked for IBM, to travel to various places around the world. So when I was in a Spanish-speaking country, they couldn't speak behind my back. So
that's got to be helpful.
I was in Puerto Rico. I was in San Juan at the IBM office, and I walked in to the office. I had just gotten off the plane. I was wearing shorts and a pair of sandals, t-shirt. And back then, I used to sport a ponytail. And this earring, wait a minute, here, this earring actually, my son found this the other day, or back in March, when he was cleaning out my room. He found this. He goes, "Hey, Dad, didn't you used to wear this back in the 90s?" I was like, "Yeah."
Wow.
You start wearing it again. I was like, "I live on an island. What the hell?" All right.
Yeah, I mean, get an earring, bottle of rum, fits the part.
It's more like tequila here, but yeah, whatever. Same thing.
Whatever, who cares? So Casey's asking, what dive company do you dive with or recommend?
I dive with Barefoot, a dive which is right down by the Centro. I know a lot. There's actually, oddly enough, there's a lot of Israelis down here, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but there's a synagogue. So I met all these Israelis at the synagogue. And I mean, it's like a normal life here. It's like wacky. Like, it's really great.
It's just
so anyways, and I never thought I would move to Mexico to learn Hebrew. So I've been like, I've literally been learning Hebrew, which is kind of funny. I can actually have like a minor conversation, which is,
Well, a lot of positive things are happening because you moved to Mexico. So, I mean, the United States is down a bob, so that's good.
I know, right? Well,
you're taking up all these great things. So,
according to the guy in the White House, I'm a clear and present danger. So,
yeah. I mean, my middle name is Robert. So I could, when I was younger, we used to jokingly say, because some guys would like abbreviate their first name and then go by their second name. So I would be M Bob, like M Night Shyamalan, but M Bob. So it was like me and that's a stupid story. But
I don't have a middle name, so I go by NMI for middle name. NMI, no middle initial.
Nice. So when this whole POTA thing started, 2 weeks ago,
it was one.
How many
entity on this island?
Yeah, and how many are there now?
17.
17. So what this means is everyone needs to put Bob into their ham alert, because there's 6. You've only activated one still, though, right? Or have you done more?
Oh, we've only activated one.
Yeah. So there's 16 more never been activated parks in Cozumel, Mexico, that we're all going to be like, you've got to be in my skip zone, I would think. Yeah, I don't know.
Look for X-Ray Fox 3 stroke Whiskey 2 Charlie Yankee Kilowatt. There's actually 2 hams on this island.
And when you're putting the call sign into ham alert, don't put the stroke. Just put all the what's the call sign again?
It's XF3, X-Ray Foxtrot 3 stroke W2CYK.
Yeah. But don't put the stroke in ham alert, because it'll give you an error. But so you asked me what we needed to do to get these parks added to the list, and I'm not so much like a rule book kind of guy when it comes to POTA. I just go out and activate. There's definitely people who take it way more serious than I do. I just like getting on the air. So I don't really know a lot of that stuff. I mean, I know how to navigate the site fairly decently, but I emailed Jason Johnston, not 2.0, but W3AAX, who's the godfather of the Parks on the Air administration, the founder of it.
And then he connected me with Jose de Jesus Lopez Villalobos, who's also known as X-Ray Echo 2 November, or November 5 Mike Echo X-Ray. So he connected me with him. Huh?
There's another Bob.
Oh, jeepers. I know. So so they connected, he connected me with Jose, X-Ray Echo 2 November.
Yeah.
And he sent me a form, and I just started filling the form out, like, for each entity. And the next day, magically, they showed up. Are you able to show anything on the screen?
I mean, I can pull up the Parks on the Air website, and I mean, you can too. There's a share button down at the bottom.
There is? Oh, hold on. I can pull that one off.
You can just open up a new tab, or I can pull up if you want to just show the park.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm just bringing it up on screen right now.
Yeah, so then
there we go.
Share. And
so, let's see. How do I click share?
At the bottom of the StreamYard, see where it's like mute, stop cam settings. There's the button that says share. I think you have it. You should. If not, I can pull it up.
Hold on a minute. It's like, hold on. It's just off the bottom. There it is. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So click that, and then you should be able to like share whatever tab it's on or whatever.
Share screen is easiest with 2 monitors.
Yeah, who cares?
Okay.
You don't need 2 monitors. You just won't be able to see yourself or me. Who cares? That's a positive in my book.
Okay, so then I'm going to click this one and click share. Okay, hold it. Go to system preferences, of course.
Doing it live.
Of course.
Oh, you got to go. You got to allow it to share, I think.
Yeah. Wait, what would it be called?
You got to let you got to let your Mac allow sharing, I think is what it's saying.
Oh, it wants to quit and reopen. Why don't you share it?
Oh, no. Yeah, screw all that. All right, hang on. So I will share screen. Chrome tab, that one, share. Okay.
There you go. All right, cool.
Just
So,
like that.
so bring up El Mapo. Sorry, La Mapa.
Yep. If I can get to the right, I got too many windows open here. So we go to the map and we go.
Put in over on the right there. Put on Cozumel.
Oh, I know where Cozumel is now.
Oh
So
yeah,
look at all. Yeah, I just zoom into it now. So all of these beautiful, beautiful entities. Go ahead and tell us.
yeah. Some of them are like
Whoops.
Sorry, did I
Nope,
do
that was my fault. We'll blame Chrome because it knows that I hate it. Okay.
So if you see the one down towards the lower left, out in the middle of the sea,
This guy here,
well, that's one of them.
or in the middle of the ocean.
There, if you touch that one, yeah, that one's El Caracol. It actually belongs on the very bottom point of the island. So I already requested for that to be moved.
So there's not a park entity in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico.
That's correct.
That's more. Gosh darn it.
Dagnabbit.
I cuss like a sailor, but I try to keep the channel G.
All right.
So that belongs more down here, you're saying?
Belongs at the very, very bottom point.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so I'm fixing that. But if you look at the line going across the island about halfway, yeah, that line,
Mm-hmm.
and the dot all the way on the right, that's where we went to Mescalito.
Yeah, that one you did.
Yeah, Mescalito X-ray Echo
You
0.
did. They've got all of 17 contacts. So Cozumel Island has a total of 17 contacts.
That's correct.
We need to change that.
Well, we only operated for an hour, but he had a lot of fun, and I'm trying to get a mobile radio down here, and one of my screwdrivers down here. And
yeah. So what are your operating conditions right now? Do you even have a radio?
I got this.
Hang on, I gotta see. Oh, you got the RFinder. Yep.
Can they
look how sexy that is? Hang on.
Can they still see me?
Yeah.
All right.
Let me produce here. Whoops.
Right.
Somehow I can make you like full screen.
That's
like that. There you are.
Well, anyway, so this is an Android. This is the crazy radio that I invented, but it's it's 2 meter 440, and it's got DMR and DMR over IP built in, so it doesn't need a hotspot.
And what else doesn't it need?
Doesn't need a code plug.
Yeah, that's like the bane of DMR's existence is programming those damn code plugs.
If you click on the directory button, see it's showing like Smyrna, Playa del Carmen, Cancun.
Yeah. So those of you that are into DMR, if you and this is one of the crappy things about DMR, because if you travel, you've got to find the repeaters or bring a hotspot with you.
Yeah.
And then reprogram them. And I mean, that's like an hour's worth of work.
An hour?
Not really, but programming a DMR radio sucks. With an RFinder,
you just take it out,
touch the screen, and you're there. It's literally that easy.
So, like, I've been like, I've landed in Tel Aviv, for instance, and I just turn the radio on and, connect to a DMR machine or an FM. It works for FM also.
Yeah.
So, I landed in Portland.
There you go. You've got a guest coming. Well, so if you just kind of throw, what is it, X-Ray Foxtrot 3?
Well, yeah.
If you just throw that in front of your call sign, so you X-Ray Foxtrot Streets, X-Ray Foxtrot 3, geez, that's a mouthful. Stroke November 3, Alpha Mike Lima.
That's correct.
You're already there. I don't think the Mexican cartel is going to come arrest you.
No, that's what they told me. They said, "Don't worry about it. We're fixing it. Just go operate."
Yeah,
that's what I was told.
They don't care.
That's what I was told. Like. Yeah.
And in all honesty, that's how it should be. It's like we know it's messed up, so just go out and do it. Like nobody's coming to Cozumel.
It just makes sure you got
to come smack your hand.
Make sure you got like 200 pesos in your pocket, which is like $10 to give a cop. Really gives you a hard time. Here, just take this and leave me alone.
With that, they wouldn't even know what you're doing, though.
No.
I mean, especially if you're just sitting in your car. Like if you're getting out throwing antennas up in trees and stuff.
No, we had a cop come up to us the other night.
Yeah.
because there was actually a roadblock just before Mescalitos, and for for the night they closed the beaches down at this time of year because there's a lot of turtles coming on shore to
Oh
later.
yeah.
So, um, so we were sitting there operating at the cones, and we saw Mescalitos 60 feet in front of us. And the cop came along and was like, "What are you guys doing?" And Alberto said to him, we're operating radio from the car here.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm just concerned that somebody's going to hit you." And he said, "Well, can we just park up by the beach next to you? I mean, we're just parking there and using radio." And he, "Andale." So, so off we went.
Yeah.
So,
so
it was.
Could have done a TOTA, Turtles on the Air. No, that is. I mean, if they kicked you out because of the turtles, that's actually really awesome. Because I am very much a nature lover and a supporter of not destroying our planet.
Mm-hmm.
And turtles are kind of getting the shaft, just by light pollution. Like the babies come out of the dirt or the sand, and then they go towards the light and not towards the ocean because they think the light is the moon, and then they all die. And
well, there's actually
now we don't have turtles.
On the beach. There's actually they keep track of when each nest is dug and laid.
Mm.
And they have people that keep track of it, and then they have people waiting because it's like clockwork. They always open up on the X number of days, whatever it is. So they're sitting there waiting for the nests to open up, and then the people are chasing the birds away and guiding the turtles towards the water. They're not allowed to pick them up and move them.
Mm-hmm.
You can block their way and get them to go the other direction. So
yeah, they can scare off all the seagulls and stuff that want to eat them too.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Once they're in the water, it's fair game, but
they're kind of like shooing them down to the water.
That's great.
And once they at the water, then that's that. So there's people that actually go and do this, and it looks like a lot of fun. I'm very good friends with my neighbors across the way here in the townhouse complex I'm in, and his wife goes and does this, and goes and helps the turtles. So,
that's awesome.
Looks like
very
fun.
Cool. Oh yeah, yeah. When I was still living in Florida or visiting again, because my dad still lived down there. We have all our friends, and we everybody's got boats, so we'd be fishing in the canals in the ocean. We'd go out Hillsborough Inlet and all that, and there was actually some we saw in the canals by the Lighthouse Point Marina, like a bunch of little baby turtles. So we actually, we were probably 12, 13, 14, that age. So we grabbed however many we could, and we brought them out to the ocean and let them go out there because they were. The canals are kind of like that water doesn't really circulate very well. It's like, let's give these guys a fighting chance. So
yeah, nice.
Yeah, that was really cool, and just to see little baby turtles.
This is my passive plug.
What's that?
This is my passive plug for the dive center.
Oh. There you go. I prefer to wear flippers, but So when can we
clean? But anybody that's a hammer
operator, You and your stupid Waffle House.
I love the Waffle House.
When we were in Huntsville last year, Bob insisted on going to Waffle House for breakfast every frickin' morning, and there's like 4 of us or 5 of us, I forget. The booths at Waffle House are not actually designed to have people sit in them. They're the smallest thing in the world, and trying to cram 4 hams in there.
Especially not hams, because a lot of hams have guts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's kind of challenging.
They're not clean either, I've noticed. I've been into a few Waffle Houses. No. They don't practice sanitation very much.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a bad rumor. I go to Waffle Houses all over the place.
They're disgusting.
I was thinking about opening one down here. Hey, there's a
no, don't taint the sanctity of paradise. You're literally about to pave paradise to put up a Waffle House.
There's a Hooters.
That's fine.
There's a Domino's Pizza and there's a Burger King. Why can't we have a?
Just don't.
Come on.
It's not good. It's not good. That's what I call a sticky situation.
Nice.
So yeah, no Waffle House. There's that Blue Plate Diner right in town that we go to. That's a good spot. So, when
A place in New York City that the Blue Plate Diner that my dad and I used to go to when we would go to like a something at like Madison Square Garden,
uh
game or whatever.
yeah,
He loved going to the Blue Plate Diner and he wanted to have bluefish.
hmm.
Not my favorite.
I can't
I
say
do
I've had bluegill. I've had red drum.
red
I've
drum.
had red snapper.
That's some tasty.
Red drum is, oh my god, it's so, especially when you catch it yourself
I actually shot a red snapper a while back
with a spear gun. I trust.
with an arpon, with a spear gun.
Nice.
Mhm.
You'd be like a redneck with a shotgun. That wouldn't work very well. So
Well,
when can we expect to start making contacts with Cozumel on the regular?
Well, okay. I'm working on two things. I'm working on getting an antenna down here on the roof because when I did my lease, I made sure they put into the lease that I'm allowed to have an antenna of any size on the roof.
Of any size. Nice. So
Mhm.
what are you thinking for antennas?
I think I'm going to do like a tri band or like an A3S or something. Nothing too big.
I'm not. What is an A3S? Is that
It's
a
a
vertical?
Cushcraft beam.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's kind of like the word. Everybody's got a Cushcraft A3S. Anybody here?
Duh.
Raise your hand if you got a Cushcraft.
I got two of them on my roof. I just forgot the name.
Who doesn't?
Well, they're stacked,
Yeah,
I forget they're there. They blend right into the background.
They do blend.
So what is that, like 40, 20, 15 or something? Or
No, it's 30. I'm sorry, 10, 15, 20.
okay.
So I'm going to do one of those. I'm probably going to do a vertical, something that'll have like some of the other bands and whatever.
Uh-huh. How much land do you have there? Like
I
with your yard?
I have like nothing.
Okay. Yeah, that's the problem with a vertical, because I want to put up a DX Commander so bad. I legit have nowhere to put it.
Well, no, I have a roof. I have a full roof. Said you can put anything on the roof.
Have you seen Paul Oscar Mike 3 Echo Tango, I think is his call? He's out in Czech Republic. He was living in like an apartment or something, and he had some antennas on the roof there. It was a pretty cool situation. I can't do that either. I don't know if I can put a vertical on an A-frame roof, but maybe. But then if it falls over, it's going to go right on the power line. So I'm kind of screwed there.
You want to be away from the fall zone. That would
I'd rather not go there.
Yeah, but we have a nice big roof here. Technically, there's two big flat roofs.
Oh, that's great.
There's wires running across between the roofs. So I'm like, I can run a piece of coax. It's Mexico. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, I think that's fantastic. So what about the POTA though?
And then I'm going to bring some sort of a mobile, like maybe I've got some stuff back in New York, maybe an FT 857 or something.
You have a Tar Heel or no?
I do. I have two of them.
Okay. Oh, great.
They're not on anything right now, so I'll bring it down here and I'll
you need to fix that.
I drive a 2007. You ever heard of a Geo Tracker?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Chevy like badged it down here. They have a Chevy GMC Tracker down here.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2-wheel drive, Mexico only. It's 2-wheel drive, and it's like a little mini SUV. It's fine. It's got air conditioning.
That's important.
No, there is no HOA in Mexican. That's correct.
That's great. Yeah, dude. If you get a beam and then a vertical on the roof.
Yeah. There's not really enough for me to do it. I might be able to. I don't know. I might be able to do a dipole. I don't know. I really want to have 80 because I do love working the DX window on 80.
Yeah. I'm not on 80 too much, but I've gotten on 80 a few times on FT8, and I was Like on phone, I've never hear DX, but FT8, like I'm working rare islands in the Pacific and stuff. Like I was like, holy crap, this is freaking awesome. And you don't have to hear people talking about their, what ails them and stuff. It's fantastic. So
Wish I could bring my 90-foot, 5-foot Illuma tower down here. That'd be really fun.
no, you can't. That's going to the hunting lease.
Going to the hunting lease instead.
No. The taxes to import it in Mexico would just be so impractical.
And by the way, I did speak to Jason this morning about letting us operate.
Yes.
He said he can get what's the other guy that is on the lease?
Jake.
Yeah, Jake. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said if we can get Jake to go, then we're all good.
He doesn't trust us to be unchaperoned, huh?
Nope.
That's terrible. Shows you who your friends are.
Yeah. What the heck,
Well, maybe we'll just crash his beach house then.
It's only 2.5 hours from here.
What is?
To Dallas.
Oh yeah, to fly there, yeah.
And the airport's 4 minutes from my house.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
It's 4 minutes.
So we'll have a Geo tracker with a Tar Heel and an 897. But that's not gonna. So you got to get with your buddy then to get more activations in.
Oh yeah, no. He's like, when are we going to? When are we going to operate again?
Get out there.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It's really fun.
I need all of those in my log. I don't think I've ever worked anyone, hunted anyone in Mexico that was doing a Parks on the Air. I don't think there's really many people down there doing it.
Take a look at the rest of the points on the map. There's Tulum. There's what else? Above Puerto Morelos.
Where's my screen here? Let's do this again. Where am I looking? I don't know freaking Mexico's geography.
There's Puerto Morelos.
Oh, right there. Yep.
Up by Cancun, there's one up by Cancun, and then there's one.
Oh, look at that. Never been activated.
And there's one up a little bit higher. Yeah, you see there's Isla Mujeres.
Never been active. Dude, you got all kinds of work to do. This is probably quite some distance, I would suspect. But
no, it's not that bad.
There's another one in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, click it.
Costa Accidental de Isla Mujeres National Park. Yeah, never been activated.
Yeah, so that's part of like.
How's that Spanish, by the way?
It's freaking gringo.
Punta Sur area of outstanding natural. Okay, wow.
Okay, that's the other one.
Did it in English.
It's the other one that's in the wrong place. That one needs to be at the bottom of Cozumel. That's the other one that I need to move.
Really?
Yeah, that one's in the wrong place.
Yeah, they got that all kinds of wrong then.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So, but there's all kinds of parks along the beach. I mean, like I could literally, I could spend a few hours and put 100 points in along the coast of the Yucatan Peninsula.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're not active. So, I mean, are there just not a lot of hams in Mexico?
It's like 1,800 of them.
Oh wow, that's not much at all.
No, in the whole, because they don't have like a really. It's not very easy to get a license down here. Everything is anything that has to do with like paperwork is challenging.
So how long are you thinking it's going to take? I mean, it's by that rationale, it's probably going to take years to get any kind of reciprocity then.
No, we think within the year.
Really?
Yeah, we're working on it. I'm actually involved in the working on it part.
So are you like, I know when you go to Canada, you just throw like VE2 stroke K at MRD, you just throw it in front of your call. Is that kind of the same thing?
Like I was in Germany in June and I just was like, Delta Echo stroke,
Yeah. And you don't need to let anybody know you're there. You just,
or from an Israel.
There's no like permits or anything you got to pull or licenses or anything. You just,
European Union is reciprocal.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, it's Foxtrot stroke, Foxtrot 3 stroke.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Stroke.
By the end of this year, you think, or just within a year's time?
Well, within a year's time.
Okay.
It could be quicker. They have a ham fest coming up in Jalisco, which is near drawing a blank. Hold on a minute.
While you're thinking, we'll laugh at Scott.
Exactamente, exacto. So there's actually there's a park actually out at the end of Cuba, like a little south of Havana.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I would have to like ask for permission to operate in Cuba if they let me at all. I can get to Cuba.
Yeah,
from here.
that might be it. Well, yeah, I mean, hop on a raft and you'll get there eventually.
No. I just take the ferry from here to Playa del Carmen, then take a bus up to Cancun Airport, and then I'm about 45 minutes away.
Oh, there we are. Here's 2.0.
Hey, no, I am not. No, I am not.
If only we could get an RFinder on an iPhone.
Can't.
But we can't. I've asked many times.
It's Apple's fault. It has
Apple's got the lockdown.
Guadalajara. That's what I was thinking of.
Okay.
Guadalajara. Guadalajara's got a lot.
POTA in Guadalajara.
Well, no, there's a lot. Is there?
I don't know. You're the one talking about freaking Cuba.
There's 4 points in Guadalajara.
Here, let's look.
But there's plenty of
There's Cuba, right there.
Never activated.
Oh, look at that in the Cayman Islands. Let's go there.
I'm operating Cayman.
Holy crap! That's a Guanahacabibis.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Charlie Oscar.
Never activated.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's whenever I make it to Cozumel, we'll just hop on an inner tube and float over to Cuba.
No, actually, once you're here,
could you imagine the freaking pileups you'd get if you were actually out there? Holy balls!
Well, the pileup I got here with really bad conditions, but, was pretty good.
You got 17 contacts, Bob. That's hardly a pileup.
It was really noisy on 40. It was very hard to pull them out. Yeah, it was very, very. And then I switched over to 20. It was much better.
Yeah,
but we were on 40 for like 45 minutes. So
I've not been on 40 in a long time.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, James, ham radio adventure guy, he's on 40 all the time, but that's because he's got that freaking antenna. Yeah, I just have way more luck on 20 lately.
There's a lot of points on Cayman Islands.
Yeah, you go there too.
Wow.
I need to just be a vagabond and just start going to the islands and doing POTA.
Never activated.
I know how to fish, so I can eat. I know how to make a fire. I got solar. I can recharge the batteries. What more do you need? I got to learn how to brew.
The hell? What about Bonaire? By the way, I have like the only smoker on this island.
You have the only smoker?
On the island, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Mexico's, I mean, they got barbacoa, but they're not really, when I think of barbecue, I don't really think of Mexico.
A barbacoa is actually not barbecue. It's actually a braised meat.
Yeah, so there you go. It's delicious, though.
It is very nice.
Yeah, so you're the most popular kid on the block then. You start getting some brisket or some pork bucket.
Oh, I could not. I found a place to buy USDA briskets because it's very hard to get brisket down here. But I found the guy that's got 2 freezer, 40-foot trailers behind the shop, and they're cold and they have all kinds of crazy stuff. So I was able to find packed briskets. So that's nice. about 5 minutes from here. So I found a place to get Packer briskets. I was looking for a smoker. I couldn't find one. And then I was like, I'll just go to the metal recycler and find a tank and take it over to a welder. There's about 5 welders on the island.
Yeah.
I figured I'd just modify a tank of some sort. And there were no tanks. There was no metal tanks. And I looked over. And way on the other side, I saw a filing cabinet. In Spanish, an archivador.
Yeah.
So I looked over. I was like, ¿Cómo sobre el archivador? ¿Es para vender? ¿Es for sale? Sí. Oh, almost a blue sky. So we went over and we looked at it, and it was actually a 3-drawer legal size filing cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
Old, it had some rust along the bottom, but I opened it up and I was like, oh, this has got smoker written all over it.
Nice.
So, and if anybody's interested, there are YouTube videos about other people that have made.
So did you make it like vertical or is it horizontal?
It's a vertical smoker.
Okay.
Vertical, 3-drawer filing cabinet, legal width. And I took it to a welder, and he cut holes, orificios, in the bottom of the drawers to let the smoke up, and using a blowtorch, and then obviously acetylene torch,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had them cut a couple of holes. You know those like air valves on the smokers?
Yeah.
I got some air valves from Amazon, and I got a thermometer. So had him drill a hole for the thermometer and had him put one of those air valves on the top and one of the air valves on the bottom drawer.
Mm-hmm.
So so I get like a draft going through the thing.
Yeah.
And she holds 225 degrees for 4 hours. No problem.
Wow.
Once
So
again,
you have like the bottom drawer where you put the wood, and then you've got grates in the middle and the top drawer. So you like literally like slide in your meat.
And they made me grates on the 2 top drawers.
Oh,
so I could
that's
drop the meat
awesome.
on. And on my birthday in May, we made a little party, and I smoked a brisket using my very special rub that everybody loves so much, and shocked the living daylights out of Mexicans. They were like, "What is this? This is so rica."
Oh, that's great. That is great.
Oh yeah, they loved it.
That's awesome. I got to see that. That
Actually,
is an interesting smoke. I mean, I mean, it's similar to like some of the pellet smokers that I've seen guys using that are just a square thing. So I can kind of imagine what it is. But that's pretty neat. That's very ingenious to just make something. That's some hamgenuity right there.
Ingenuity, man. It's hamgenuity.
That's it. You have a problem, you find a solution, and you just make it work.
Exactly.
Because when you need barbecue, you need barbecue.
And the welders, they were so excited to make this thing for me. Like, oh,
yeah.
Can we come over for some barbecue, senor?
I'll bet. Yeah, that's great. That's great.
So I had to make a tray underneath of it with a fat drip hole, and then my son brought down four metal casters. Like you would see on a safe. Brought me 4 metal casters that we welded onto the bottom of the tray, and
lots of safes have casters on them.
Sure.
Yeah. Keep them mobile.
Exactly. No, but very heavy, like iron, steel casters. Yeah. So we threw some.
Or like a stainless steel table in a restaurant would have in their prep area.
Exactly.
Probably. The safes are usually bolted down that I've seen, but.
All right, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. All right, just whatever.
So here's a great question: does POTA give a cartel award if you activate 5 parks? That needs to be a thing. That needs to be a thing. So if there's POTA people watching, that should be like a hunter and an activator award.
So how many divers do we have on stream today?
I don't know. Put a 1 in the comments if you're a diver.
You and me.
I'm 1, so I'll put a 1 in.
N3 was a diver, I think. Maybe not.
Yep. There was a couple in there.
Yeah.
Hey, K5YVY, you'll get a kick out of this. My TYT 9800 radio died. Imagine that.
Well, actually, we're running a special on RFinder.net where you can actually trade that in. Dead or alive. We're doing a dead or alive trade-in deal right now on an RFinder. So trade in any radio, dead or alive, and you'll get a nice discount on a brand spanking new RFinder.
Now, how would an RFinder work as a base station radio?
I have one right here. I use it for base station all the time.
Yeah. So we got what, 3 watts, 4 watts, maybe?
Well, I'm using it here, radio, DMR over IP because
Yeah.
it doesn't need a hotspot. It's built in. So
I mean, you know me, they call me Mr. DMR.
I have a, yeah, I have a Telcel SIM in this thing, which is like their big cell phone company down here, and I just connect to the DMR network and activate talk groups that way with the device.
Are you really doing that though? Is that a thing? You give your dead radio and you get a deal on an RFinder?
There's absolutely
That's
right
fantastic.
now on rfinder.net. There is a special going right now. We're actually going to leave the special up. It's going to be trade in anything you got, dead or alive.
And how much do you save?
Depends on the radio.
Okay, so for my
anything from 75 to 250.
For my high quality Yaesu knockoff TYT, is it 4-band radio? Yeah, it does 10, 6, 2, and 70.
I think that one's about.
Yeah, I mean that should be $300-400, I'd guess.
It's about 150.
Really?
Somebody actually traded in a THD 74 this morning on the $200 plan.
Huh. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hell of a deal, honestly, because this radio news is only like $200. That's great.
How it goes, man. We're just
$200 off for a broken fang.
Broken fang. 75 for the fang.
75 for but that's 3 times its value right there.
Know that.
That's a deal.
Know that.
So Bob knows that I am not a DMR guy, but I have played with all of his devices. I've had them in my hands. They're phenomenal products. They really are. It's just not for me.
Well, my mom's
a DMR guy.
You know what my mom says?
I don't.
My mom's from Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
So she goes, "You finally did something right."
Yeah, and then you have also just the RFinder app. That's what, like,
that works on
$13 a year or something.
So if you haven't installed that yet, pull out your iPhones and Androids, install RFinder on it. It's the best.
And what can we find? Just tell it for those that don't know. What does the RFinder app do?
It's the worldwide repeater directory. We're the official directory of ARRL, Radio Amateurs Canada, Radio Society of Great Britain, Union Radio Radio Aficionados of España, Federación Mexicanos Radio Experimentadores. The guys in Cayman Islands actually joined up recently. The Israelis were the official directory of the Israeli Amateur Radio League. Who else?
And this is something that actually gets updated regularly.
Deutsche Amateur Radio Club. Yeah. It gets updated every day. Noon at midnight Eastern.
Wow. Because I know I've looked at Repeater Book, and that's like the guy around. There's 12 repeaters that are all connected in the Houston area, and the guy that runs them will just randomly change the tone for no reason at all. And it's like one day you're talking to it, the next day.
That's a problem for any directory because FM there's no automated feeds available. So like one of the users has to update it. But our radios look at stuff like that, and when you make a contact on a repeater that it can identify its ID, its actual unique ID, and it will send the update back to the database when it sees something different automatically.
That is an incredible feature right there in and of itself.
Talk groups and time slots, when the radio picks up a talk group time slot combo that's actually good on a repeater, then it'll and it can identify the DMR ID. It'll send it back up to the database.
No kidding.
Yep, happens all in the background automatically.
So that would just take one person with an RFinder to use this. It's WA5AIR. I want to throw them under the bus, even though I've never contributed anything and I've only talked on the repeater, I think, once because I'm not a repeater guy.
RFinder and request an update.
So yeah, so if I'm using an RFinder and I usually the tone lately has been 103.5. It used to just be 100. And then he changed a lot of them to 103.5 for like legit no reason. So if I typed in 103.5, it would just know that, hey, there's a discrepancy between what RFinder has and what I'm actually talking on, and it would just automatically send like a change
request.
Yeah.
Yep. And then if you want, you also can go into the directory on a regular Android and just say, make an update request, type in 103.5 and submit it. And then Howie, WB2TQE, is our admin, and he looks at those and makes sure that they look kosher and accepts the updates.
So for like $1 a month, it's what, $12-13 a year?
$13 a year.
Yeah.
And we give 30% of that to the league. So we're supporting the league. We also happen to fund an annual college scholarship with that. So we have $1,000 college scholarship that we fund with it. That's
great.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yep. The W2LH, W2EEO scholarship, for my grandparents. So. Yep.
Well, good on you.
Yep. Thank you.
All kinds of good things are done in the amateur radio universe.
Yep. We try to get back. We do a lot of stuff for scouts and like back in New York. My son and I have taken down many antennas for widows, and then we donate them to Boy Scout camps. We'll actually go and set up Boy Scout.
Oh wow.
Yep. So so we've done all kinds of stuff like that. It's fun.
Good. That's awesome.
Yeah. Good. Oh, I became a scout leader in Mexico.
Is that right? I mean, I've always been a Girl Scout, but
yeah,
that's a little different.
Well, you can identify any way you want.
Oh, it's not an identification. It's more a verb.
What's your pronoun?
Geez.
It.
Fat. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Oh my god. So, yeah, that doesn't fly down here, by the way. They do that stuff down here in Mexico.
What?
Like that whole woke stuff. They're like,
yeah. We're not going to get on politics. Politics and religion are two things I keep way the hell away from here.
Oh, so I can't tell you there's a synagogue in Cozumel, but I'll be having dinner there tonight.
That's great. That's great. I'm happy for you. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic.
Oh, it is. Every week.
My first job, I worked at a Jewish delicatessen. It was called, get this, it was called Locks, Stock, and Barrel.
Oh, that's nice.
So you have to play on words.
Wait, so they served the lox for breakfast, and they served like
they had matzo ball soup and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, that's
I don't think when I started working there, I don't think there was a Jew in the place that owned it or worked there. But it was a Jewish delicatessen.
Well,
we used to take these matzo balls were like the size of grapefruits. I mean, they were huge.
Yeah.
And at the end of service or the end of the day, we're just going to throw them out. So we'd take them outside. Me and another buddy of mine worked there as well. So we'd take them out back and we'd chuck them against the wall. And they would it was great.
You're an idiot. So do you
it looked gross to me. I'm like, I'm not going to eat this. I don't want this piece of wet dough.
So do you like Jewish style pastrami and corned beef and stuff?
Oh, I'll eat that all day long. Absolutely.
So I make that here. I make pastrami here.
Oh, nice.
In my smoker. And I make
I've not had tongue.
Pastrami, tongue is delicious. If you ever get a chance to have like a tongue sandwich or a tongue,
I'm not opposed to it. I'll
or a lingua. If you go to a taqueria and they're serving lingua, try one. You'd be like,
I had menudo. That was good. That's got like tripe and stuff in it. Menudo.
Oh,
yeah. Not the Ricky Martin band, but the soup. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So we make a lot of soup down here. They like soup in Mexico. I usually I take my leftovers and I'll turn it into a soup. So we do.
I'm not much of a soup guy, but I was like, what the hell? I'll try some menudo. I like trying things.
Oh, you know what else they love down here? They love tacos from
Taco Bell.
No. Marrow, from bones, from like the long bones of a beef. Like they look
I've
like.
not had bone marrow,
Oh my
but
god.
like I'm a big Tony Bourdain fan. Like when I was in I've spent a lot of years working in restaurants, and when his book Kitchen Confidential came out years ago, I read that and just fell in love with it, and just all the stuff he talks about, and then watching. I almost went to school to become a chef, but then I didn't.
My girlfriend is a chef.
Yeah, like I'm into all
Girlfriend is
that
a
kind of
trained
stuff. I would
chef.
absolutely do that.
She actually went to gastronomy. She has a degree in gastronomy in Mexico. She's which is a chef.
You
She
keep giving more and more reasons for me to want to hop on a plane and get down to
Yeah,
Cozumel.
so we eat good down here. I mean, I'm a great cook. She's a great cook. She like actually gets a kick out of me cooking. Yesterday, I made my version of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Why?
Well, because I live in Mexico, I can't just go down to KFC and get some KFC. If I want
I live in America and I don't just go down to KFC.
But I like original recipe. It's very nice. I happen to know how to make original recipe.
Yeah, all 13 herbs and spices.
Yeah.
Well, it's 14 down there for you.
Yeah, or something.
Says the guy wearing a 100% hemp.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, hemp is easy to get down here. Very, very easy.
It's a South Park shirt.
Yeah, hemp is $50 an ounce down here.
Wow,
It's ridiculous.
I don't know if that's a good price or a bad price.
Oh yeah, sure you don't.
Going off the rails now. It's after the hour mark. All bets are off.
Oh my god. Yes. Everybody smokes weed down here. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The Israelis love hash. They get hash down here.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, it's for religious purposes.
Actually, yeah. I mean, in the original temple in Jerusalem, they were, smoking all kinds of stuff. They were smoking all kinds of incense, and I'm sure there was hemp going on too.
Sure.
Well, probably gonna get struck now. Struck down.
Nah. There's much worse thing. If they don't demonetize me for all the shooting that I do on field day, which
I miss. Oh my god, I missed that so much.
I know you should have been there.
I had to go to the Hamfest in Germany.
Yeah, how was that?
It was great.
Yeah,
really great.
I saw some videos of it, but
yeah, we had a nice time there. I mean, the Friedrichshafen Hamfest is always fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I mean, do they know that it coincides with field day though, so they need to change it, or
it looks like my next one is probably Newark, England in October. So that's the National Ham Fest of England.
Yeah, that's good. Maybe Callum will there. Say hi to Cal for us.
Yep.
You should put a DX Commander on the roof.
He'll be there. Oh, that's a great idea.
The only kind I have.
Yeah, except there's a little bit of an issue with radials.
Why?
How the hell am I going to run radials? How big is the roof? How long are the radials?
3.5 meters. So what's that? 11 feet or so. So yeah, you need like a 22-foot radius. Yeah.
For how many? For what band?
I'm 40 through 10.
So you can do 40 meters on a. How long is the radial?
So the specific length of the radial, of the individual radial, doesn't matter so much as the overall length. Callum's done a lot of videos and research on this. I've touched on the subject on my channel to some degree. I made shortened but more radials for the Wolf River coils, and it worked. So yeah, the total. So I have on my DX Commander expedition, I have 23.5 meter counterpoise wires.
Okay.
And I mean, that freaking antenna. Well, you've seen it. It's at every freaking field day.
Yeah.
Well, I set it up all by myself in the woods. Nobody helps me, but well, Jason did once. But yeah, it's a 22-foot radius. It's nothing.
Oh, that's
cool. Yeah, and I have 40, 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10. All resonant, no tuner.
Does he do 80 too?
He's got he actually sent me one. I need to pick it up. He's got a new version. It's a 12.5 meter mast, telescopic mast, that he's put 80 meters on by putting a loading coil at the top and then coming back down. So you go up with the wire, put a loading coil of X amount of turns, whatever, and then you come back down. So it's kind of like a folded dipole, if you will. And he's got 80 on it. So, or you can run. He's got a bunch of different versions of the antenna. So depending on what your situation. So like, I could run 80. I have run 80 at field day. When I put for winter field day, you were there. Remember, I had the two DX Commanders. The one that was kind of off to the left, that was the DX Commander Classic, and I ran 80 meters up it, and you just run it as an inverted L.
Oh, okay.
So if you have the room, I mean, 80 is freaking long, but so that's why he's got this 12.5 meter mast and a loading coil at the top, and you bring it back down, and he's made it work. So, yeah, that could be
interesting.
something to look into. Huh?
How tall is it?
12.5 meters.
So it's 36 feet high.
If that's what it is in freedom units, yeah. No, it's taller than that, because 10 meters is like 33 feet. So it's got to be closer to 40, 42, somewhere in there.
Did you just say 12 and a half?
How many feet is 12.5 meters?
12.5 meters is 41.01 feet.
There you go.
All right. So what did I say?
I don't know, 35 or something.
All right. Okay. So it was off a little bit.
Yeah. We're a few feet. Who cares?
Off by 1.5 meters.
Yeah. But even still, it's not like they have to be perfectly spread out. I mean, I'm OCD, so they, everything needs to be perfect and spread. But so long as they're there, that's the more important thing. So
the lovely Isabel is OCD also, which is quite an interesting thing.
There you go. Then you could actually mark out, get a chalk line, and mark and a protractor, and get the angles perfect.
Wait a minute. Can you bend a radial? Does the radial have to be straight?
No, that's what I'm saying. You can put it where the frick you want. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I got an idea. Oh my god.
There you go.
God.
Think we just sold a DX Commander for Callum, boys.
Woo!
Oh, they're fantastic antennas. Fantastic.
That's good.
There's nothing like having a multi-band resonant antenna that just works. And you want to put 1,500 watts through it, knock yourself out.
Really?
The wire. I mean, here's how you know it's good when you nerd out over wire. His DX10 wire is freaking amazing. It's silky smooth. It doesn't really kink or have a memory. It's a dream to work with. And he keyed down for, I forget how long. He's done some tests. He keyed down like 60 seconds, 1,500 watts. No problem. And he's like measuring the heat and stuff. He's done all these kind of tests.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's just, yeah. So, whatever power you want to run, whatever mode, you're not going to hurt it. It's fantastic.
That's cool. That sounds
like it's a way to go, man. It is a kit, so you need to build it. He sends you the bits and bobs.
All antennas are kits.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, but it's not like buying a Wolf River coils and you just screw some things together. You need to cut all the radials to length. You need to crimp them and solder them and heat shrink and all your antenna elements themselves.
Oh, these are bargains.
Yeah, they're not that expensive.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, considering the cost of copper these days, that's not too bad. Looks like fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get one of these crazy things.
You should. You can have that up before you get a tower or anything.
Wait, which one do you want me to get? The signature? 80 meters, 40 meters, 20 meters, 17, 15, 12, 10, and 6.
I haven't looked at his website. Let's do this. Whoops. M0mcx.co.uk, I think it is.
12.4 meters. That's
Yeah, the 12.4. That's the newest one. So like, Callum, that's he did it. Like everything that Callum has been trying to do with the DX Commander series, the 12 meter. Where the hell is it? The 12 meter version is.
it has guy plates. What do you have to do?
It's everything.
What do you have to do to pin it to the ground?
So, on a roof, I really wouldn't be able to tell you. But I mean, just guying it. All right, I'm not finding anything. So
You just guy it.
yeah. So okay, so what you can do actually in your situation, if you can like find a way to anchor a small pipe to the roof, the bottom of the telescopic mast unscrews, and then you could insert that pipe in the bottom, and that's just going to keep the bottom from kicking out. You still need to guy it.
Yeah.
But
so that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it would not be hard to put up at all.
You do not need a tilt over base. Can sit directly on the ground.
Yeah.
You can also storm-proof it by guying at plate number 2 and plate number 4. Enough radials to get you nice and loud on 80 meters and 40 meters and up. Nice.
Yep.
Pin it down with wood dowels or lawn stakes. That's fun.
It is. It's a hell of an antenna.
Ooh,
I mean, that's why I may not use the DX Commander as much as other antennas because they're just, I mean, it takes 5 seconds to put an NFET up. It takes about 15 minutes to put up the DX Commander when I'm portable. But like anything that's like an event that I actually like care about and want to make sure that we got like the creme de la creme of antennas, like field day, support your parks weekends, I always bring a DX Commander.
That's cool.
Because I know it's going to work. I've never had a problem with them. They get out. They're resonant. There's nothing bad to say about a DX Commander antenna.
That's cool.
Other than he's in England. And
You have a
here.
My neighbors just came out. They jumped in the pool and they're sitting there and drinking tequila in the pool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 4:13. I can't think of a better time to drink some tequila.
Welcome to Mexico.
Yeah, I don't have any tequila. I don't really drink tequila.
We have tequila here. There's some good tequila.
I like it. I'm never like, hey, I feel like going there. Like, you're gonna do one of two things with tequila. You're gonna sit by the pool or the beach, drinking margaritas, which I'm fine with, or you're doing shots. When you start doing shots of tequila,
get ready to dance on the table.
Nothing good is gonna come of that night.
Get ready to dance on the table, man. It's table dancing time.
Right. I don't need to be dancing on tables. But those are the things. But I know
you don't remember it, but it's not pretty.
No. I'm glad I blacked out that night.
I know, right? Oh my God.
You don't sip tequila, Scott.
No, you open your mouth and
just sips tequila. What an asshole. Okay, we're not G anymore. Who sips tequila?
Actually, to be honest with you, some really, really good tequilas here that are very sippable. Very nice.
I actually have had some mezcal when I was working for my brother.
Yeah, actually, I discovered mezcal the other day, like good mezcal, because usually that mezcal you buy in like Tijuana is like it tastes like used motor oil.
Yeah.
The one with the worm in the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So that stuff tastes like friggin' like used motor oil.
I'll tell you what, when you're 15 years old and you get a hold of some mezcal, though, that's rocket fuel, man.
Who's gonna eat the worm?
I've never eaten the worm. My brother did. I'm like, no, I'm good. That's where I draw the line. I'll eat tripe. I don't care. I love tentacles from squid. Like the tentacle is the best part.
Yeah.
I don't need to be eating a worm.
Octopus down here.
I love octopus. Sea urchin. Oh my God. It's amazing. Amazing. It's like a with
Man,
a nice Chianti.
I ate his liver.
It was great. With some farver beans.
Some fava bean.
Yeah.
His
So.
Chianti. Are the worms keeping? No, are the worms. Are the lambs keeping you up at night, Clarice?
I don't think I'll be leaving Mexico when I come down there.
It's really hard to.
Well, no, I'll be dead.
Work, honestly, there's a lot of people living down here that work remote. Okay. A lot of people, like from Europe, from the United States. There's people living down, like they work remote, they come down here, their office doesn't even know that they're down here. They have no friggin' idea. They just get on and they do their work every day online and nobody knows the difference. They have like over here, like at my desk, I have a VoIP phone with my I just literally picked the thing up, stuck it in my bag. And when I came down here and plugged in, I had the same phone number as when I left. As simple as that. All you have to do is, it happens to be an Android, of course, so I had to tell it to sorry. So anyway, so I had to connect it to the Wi-Fi here in the flat, and it was just on. That was it. So a lot of people have they have their regular. Well, some of them just do work on a cell phone. Some people have a desk phone. They have a computer. They use a VPN and put themselves somewhere in the States. Nobody knows the difference.
Yeah, who cares? I know it's you've made a very compelling argument to get down there.
Oh yeah, how about this? How much is your rent?
More than yours.
How much is your rent? How many bedrooms you got?
It's a 1,700 square foot place. I have 2 bedrooms and kind of 2 bathrooms. It's like there's one toilet behind me, bathroom, and then there's a thing.
Houston, my guess is 1,800. Is it more than that or less?
It's less than that.
Okay.
I live in the middle. I live in the sticks, so it's less.
1,200, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a 3-bedroom townhouse with a pool that they maintain, and it's $420. Your favorite number.
Yep.
$420 a month, and it's my electric is $75 a month, and that's with my air conditioning running, and with my window open at my desk so that it can exhaust the smoke.
And you get a corrupt government with it. You get Mexican drug lords and cartels.
No. This island is like not even really Mexico. Like we always make a joke that this isn't really Mexico because you have the local police, you have the Quintana Roo State Police, you have the federal police, then you have the Navy, the Army, you have the Air Force, and the National Guard all on this island. They have 4 to 6 ships arriving every day. They want no problems. So it's the most tranquil place on earth. It's fucking. Oops, sorry.
It's okay.
It's effing tranquil here.
There's legit like nobody under 18 that watches like any of the ham radio channels.
That's cool. So it's tranquilo, as they say in Mexico. It's tranquilo down here, man. There is nothing to worry about. You can walk around in any neighborhood here at any time, day or night, and it's just absolutely chill.
You just can't drive home.
Why? I have a car here. I can drive home.
Well, you told me it's probably not the safest thing.
To what?
If I were to drive from here, from Texas to...
Don't drive from Houston. No. That's not a good idea.
Yeah.
No.
You don't want to do that.
Because I had this like weird thought that I was going to run up to New York and grab my OJ Bronco with my with the diesel engine in it.
Yeah.
And then I was going to drive down here.
Well, you wanted me to come with you.
I know, it would have been
That'd
fun.
Be freaking awesome.
They were like telling me, no, don't do it.
No, Gringo, you don't need to be driving to Mexico.
Not a good idea, senor. Bad idea. You can come through Laredo, but have money in your pocket and get ready to like be paying off like checkpoints on the way.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen From Dusk Till Dawn. I know what happens when you cross the border, so I'm good. Yeah.
I mean, like mainland Mexico up in the north where the cartels are, it's a bit of a problem. Like southern Mexico tends to be like pretty chill. Over here is pretty chill. Most there are areas in Mexico City you don't want to be hanging out in, but for the most part, Mexico City's okay. But over here is absolutely like even like across the way in like Playa del Carmen, it's freaking dangerous over there at night. Up in Cancun, not so safe. Down here, tranquilo, no problema. I ride around. I have a 150cc Italica scooter here. I like zip around at night.
That is a sight to see.
Yeah. What's more like? It's quite
all
fast.
150 cc's.
It'll do 94 kilometers an hour
Downhill, I bet. Yeah.
On a flat.
Uh,
It'll do that. It's fun, and and it's I spend $70 a month on gas here. $70 a month on gas, 75 on electric. It's like living free. It costs me more to go to New York. Yeah, right. Scooter. It costs me more.
Dude, put the Tar Heel on your scooter.
Oh my shit.
Get like an 891 or something.
Holy, that's a fucking great idea. Oh my god.
Oh my god, you'd be putzing down the street. Calling CQ.
I'm telling you.
CQ Scooter Mobile.
Scooter Mobile. X-Ray Fox 3, Stroke Whiskey 2, Charlie.
Oh my god.
POTA. Calling POTA.
Oh my god. Scooter.
POTA.
Oh my god.
How fun would that be?
That's great. That's great. I don't know if there'd be enough metal to be a good ground plane on that. Like a car is a fantastic ground plane for those antennas.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, you got to really like you got to run like realistically. If you're gonna run HF, you got to be running like straps from like the doors to the body, from the body to the frame. You got to have the straps. So you got to get everything.
Zero grounding and bonding on my Tar Heel.
What do you got? I
have a Tar Heel.
Yeah, what car?
Ford Fusion Sport.
Unibody.
You've seen my car. You've seen my freaking Tar Heel.
Freaking unibody. Yes, I have.
But it's just on a trunk mount. That's it.
It's a little one too. That's a little bit.
I have the little Tar Heel too. Yes, I do. 83.
Yeah, I've got a 200 and a 300. They're pretty.
Yeah, that would weigh more than your scooter. You'd be doing wheelies.
Yeah, más o menos.
You could put a little flag on top.
Which country?
Whatever.
That's funny. The dive flag.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Dive flag.
Oh boy. All right, we're way past the hour.
I know, man. We've been ripping for an hour and 23 minutes.
I know. I still got other videos to shoot.
Has anybody dropped off, or
I don't know. There's actually more people watching.
Is everybody like riveted or what? They're riveted.
They've got to be riveted. So anyway, Bob, I want to thank you so much for coming on the stream to talk about POTA. We did that for a little bit.
Everybody, raise your hand, everybody, if you want Mike to do more live streams.
We can't see them. We don't know if they're raising their hands or not.
Oh, put a 1 in if you want to have more live streams.
Probably put a bunch of zeros. Yeah, I don't know. I suck at streaming. Like it's not. I don't know. It's not a thing that I do often. I enjoy doing it. It's easy creation.
How do I do it live streams? Am I okay?
I mean, you keep making those faces. I mean, that's the YouTube face right there.
I'm telling you, man.
I mean, when you look at did you look at the thumbnail that I made for this?
No, I didn't.
Oh my god! I took the shot from our Zoom call the other day, and then I removed the background, and then I went into DaVinci Resolve, my editing software, and I added a highlight around your silhouette, and then I put the POTA map of Cozumel in the background.
Oh,
and then there's a shot of me like looking up doing a stupid Jason YouTube face. And it was like, I thought it was funny.
Well, so, how do I see it? Where do I see it?
Well, you can't see it now. It's on the thumbnail. So when the stream ends.
Up on the screen. Let me see it.
I probably deleted it already. I don't even know how I would share that.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
take a picture and text it to me later. An SMS, because that's all you use.
No, I'm using a real phone. You're using a little kitty Android phone. So
What do you use? Oh, you use an
it's a
iPhone.
real phone. Yeah. Yeah. But you use a Mac.
I do use a Mac.
Yeah. It doesn't make any
Unix
sense.
underneath
You
the
need
cover. And
they sucked me in.
I'm the
in
Unix prompt half
In like 2010, I got my first iPhone because this guy I was working with was like, "Oh, this thing's so cool." So I'm like, and I needed a new phone. So like, so I bought like the 4S. That was the new phone that was out, and I loved it. I've been using them ever since. But it was a pain in the ass, like syncing things with a Windows computer, because definitely like I would bet my soul if I had one that Apple purposely makes iPhones not talk to Windows. So finally, I'm like, screw it. I'm buying a Mac because I had some cheap. I've never had good luck with Windows computers. I've never spent a lot of money on one either, but they've always died after a year or two, right? Except for the $60 computer. I love the $60 computer. So I finally bought a MacBook, and this was like 2012 or so, and that thing lasted for years and years and years. And then it finally something died. I took it to this place that replaced repaired computers, and like it's like the hard driver, so one of the few components that you really can't change out. Like if I sent it to what's that guy Louis Rossman out in New York, he could probably fix it, but it wouldn't work. So I just bought another one that was like a year later. It's actually
I very rarely buy a new laptop. I almost always grab one.
Yeah. Well, in February, I needed a new laptop because the editing software I use just it's better than my Mac was. So I bought my MacBook Pro, my new one, in February.
You get an M1, one of those M1? Yeah, that's what I've got here. Before I moved down here,
racehorse.
I mean, you know what?
Racehorse.
The new laptop. You got to get a new laptop. So I went and bought my first new laptop in many, many years. And I've got one of those M1s here, which is great.
Yeah, it's sick. It's just stupid fast. Mm-hmm. I mean, I render videos in like a big video, like 20 minutes would be like a 5-minute render. I mean, it's nothing.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, yeah. Anyway, I can talk about that all day long, but we're coming up on an hour and a half. I still got to film another video today.
Can I make a shameful plug before we go?
I would hope you would.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Bob from RFinder. Go to rfinder.net, and there is right now a Wanted Dead or Alive special. You can order up an RFinder B1 Classic, and you get a discount for depending on what your trade up is. And we've got a variety of trade up options, and literally Dead or Alive, you can give us a dead radio and get something off on an RFinder. And of course, you can always get them at HRO and Gigaparts, of course, at Moonraker in England. They've got them in stock. So go get them, and go load on your Android or your iPhone the RFinder repeater directory. And please support us. We work hard for you guys and for the community in general and stuff. So thanks for having me on.
There you go. You heard
everybody. Thanks for putting up with me for an hour and 9 minutes.
Nobody has jobs anymore. They're able to watch YouTube. So the reason I go on at 3 is because you can go into the YouTube analytics and it'll tell you like what times and what days your audience is on YouTube, and literally every single day of the week, 3 o'clock is a good time for me. And I'm like, all right, because everybody's working from home now. It's like you can do your job and then have the thing off in the background. And
remember, rfinder.net, N-E-T, rfinder.net.
He's got incredible customer service as well, I'll tell you. But before the other day, we were on a Zoom, and he's like, "Just go to my my RFinder, whatever the hell Zoom thing he had," and he's literally like on the Zoom there, answering questions, and he's just got like Zoom. If you need customer support or whatever, like you talk.
Oh, I have an open door.
The company. It's
I have an open door policy. If I'm at my desk and I'm not on a live stream or I'm not in a meeting or something, my Zoom is open, and people know they can come and go. They can come and go as they please. It's an open door.
Is the Dead or Alive deal only for the B1?
It's for the B1 Plus.
B1
For the
Plus.
B1 Classic, rather. Yes.
What does that mean?
That's the B1 Classic. The only difference is that it doesn't charge off the USB port.
Oh, you got to use the
drop-in charger.
The drop-in. Okay. But you've got a mobile version of that too, don't you? Something that you can hook up and
we're working on.
You just throw it in a cigarette lighter or something. Is it 12 volt or what is it? What is the dock take? What's the voltage input for the dock?
9 volts, but I have a 12 to 9 adapter.
Okay. Yeah. So there you go.
So
just like everything else, you need an adapter.
Yeah, you need an adapter. Off it goes.
So there's version 3. Have a 12 volt dock. Because then you can just plug it into.
When they told me it was 9 volts, I wanted to reach through the screen and say, "What is wrong with you?" Oh, I didn't need it.
You've already broken the seal, Bob. It doesn't matter.
Sorry, everybody. I am a foul New Yorker.
Yes, he is. All right. Well, good thing you did that after your plug. All right, boys.
Out of New York, but you can't take New York out of the boy.
You cannot. And now he's infiltrating Mexico. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Hit the like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at K8MRD. Go support RFinder. And we'll see you again on another episode of K8MRD Radio Stuff. 73, guys.
For those that partake, Lashana Tova.
There you go. See you later.
All right, bye.